Hey, Ghost Jazz Trio fans and friends. Let me turn the volume up a bit. Okay, I hope everyone's doing well. This is James Morgan, Ghost Jazz Trio. Um, Normally I do a Saturday video. I've been getting some messages about some of the videos I've been posting saying that, some people are kind of fearful and don't know quite where to start, how to get things rolling for themselves. My videos have been pretty much about creating a footprint for yourself online before you really start getting out there. So it's like having a resume basically online, which is the real world right now. But as some viewers know, my band Ghost Jazz Trio was started in 2017. I spent quite a few years building the brand so that I can create an income stream for myself. And, a lot of people, I think, from the questions I've been getting, it seems like a lot of it is motivated by fear and a belief system that is kind of self-defeating. And if you think about it, a belief system is really, for most people, is based on conditioning and the information they've received since they were born. So whatever your source was since you were born until now, as far as input and how the world works, how the music business works, and business. So you have to get your own perspective, is what I think, and you really need to let go of all the the conditioning that you've had that really creates a lot of fear. There's a lot of people that don't know where to start. And I always just say, start today, do something. If it's to creating a website or putting some content online, you have to constantly do something every day to let people know you're in the world. Otherwise, there's so much going on around them, they're not going to notice you. So I don't have a lot of views right now on my YouTube videos. I don't really care. Kind of reminds me of the story of Tony Robbins, who started when he was 17 years old. He got a loan and went out and tried to rent a place to do his first seminar. He was learning from a guy named Jim Rome, who was how to better your life financially and other ways. And he rented this big building, and all this stuff happened. And what happened was he ended up with 7 people, I think, 7 people in this huge hall. And he ended up talking to them as if there was 1,000 people there, but he kept doing it. And now look where he is. Hundreds of millions of people he's affected their lives. And it's the same as being an artist. You got to look at it this way. You got to start somewhere. And maybe you play in a few clubs, you play here and there. Some people hear you, they come out and thank you, but they may never think of you again. So what you have to do is you have to create a presence for yourself online and in life where your people notice you and you're present and you're relative and you're in the times. Now, when I was younger, people used to go in. If you're a musician, you could go in and sit in and jam with somebody. Everybody knew everybody. It was a community. People play with each other in different situations. And music was very much kind of like, it was very open. It wasn't, as tribal as it is now. Yeah, there was the genres, country, jazz, pop, folk, and stuff like that, Americana. But nowadays, they have like American Idol, they have The Voice, they have all these programs, America's Got Talent, all this stuff. And really what it's doing, it's conditioning a new generation of players, of artists, to think that they have to compete rather than join and embrace what's around them. And it's really kind of sad because what it's doing, it's separating everybody. It's also creating anxiety for people. So if somebody thinks it's a competition and they're going up against somebody and they have these stars telling them that this is how you do it, and they know that they're in their position, that if they disagree with them, then they're going to look foolish, so they have to go along with it. I don't believe that. I believe it's all just conditioning, and it's not healthy. So I believe you just do your own thing and create your own belief system. Now, if you're motivated by fear, a lot of people, they're afraid to get out there, afraid of rejection, uh, that kind of thing. You can't really care about what other people are thinking in terms of that. Just you have to live your life as an artist and be in the moment and, create your music and create the persona and surround yourself with the people and the lifestyle that promotes that particular music. And your belief system has to be that you have something that no one else has. You can do something that no one else can do. And you can offer that to people. You can give that to people as to relax. They can listen to your music or whatever it may be. You can actually, create income for the other musicians that you play with. So there's different things that have outlets of how you can look at what you're doing as an artist, as a musician. And the first thing to do, I think, is to just kind of get rid of all the voices in your head that are telling you this is how you should do it. You should, learn to read music, go to school, play in all these bands, do this. It's like, what was it in the 50s? Get married, white picket fence, have, 2 kids, so on and so forth. These are just concepts. They aren't truths. The only truth is the truth that you live. Live your truth, how you see things. So even when I'm telling people, hey, create a footprint online before you do this and do that, I'm just telling you what I've done and what works. Now, I started Ghost Jazz Trio, and you go to ghostjazztrioband.com and check out the band and the music. But I started, again, playing the little clubs, building the brand, doing work here and there. And I've built the brand to where I've had 2 nominated albums in the last 3 years for Best Jazz Album of the Year. I got a new album coming out next year around March. I got a new album just came out in April. It's in the top 100 this week. A new single came out last week. It debuted in the top 100, which is great. I mean, if you think about 64,000 songs coming out every year or every month, and your song is on a chart in the top 100, it's pretty good. And how did I do it? Not because I'm a great player, not because the music is fantastic or, all that stuff. It's marketing. I've learned to be able to make myself relevant. And fortunately, the product is good too. The music is good. And I'm proud of it. And I'm proud of what I've done. I mean, I have a pretty good income stream from it. And, you can generate anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 a month playing music, believe it or not, just as an indie artist. And I know from experience because I'm doing it. So, by changing your belief system, you're actually creating your own belief system. And you do that by getting rid of all the fear in your head. A lot of people have had traumas in their life and situations that they hold on to. And when another situation comes up, they let that previous situation affect them. And I'm sure we've all been in situations where, even with relationships, somebody will say, oh, I had a horrible relationship or an abusive one. So they're very cautious about getting in another one. Or, they got food poisoning. So they're real cautious about eating things. Or, there's all these traumas that happen in people's lives. But you have to remember, all these are just experiences that we go through to learn from, not to hold on to the repercussions of it, not to create a stigma, get stigmatized by the things that have happened to you. Just, it's like a wave. It comes in and let it go out. Just let whatever happens to you happen and just experience it and then let it go. And it's really incumbent on you as an artist to free your mind from fear and create the right belief system for you. You have to know that there's treasures out there, and those are things you look for. And once you start doing, today, like start today, and you just do one little thing every day, eventually it just gets more and more. It's busier and busier. I mean, I have so much going on. It's a full-time job from the time I get up till I go to bed. It's, seeing, booking shows and seeing, who's paid, who still owes, and deposit, and all these things going on. Besides the practicing and all that stuff, which you need to keep up. And, someone once said the mother of success is repetition. And just like, you can do, if you do 10,000 different karate movements, that's not really going to make you a great karate person. But if you do one movement 12,000 times, you're going to become very proficient at that. And that's why repetition is important. Repetition and practicing, sitting down and doing your scales or whatever it is that you do, whatever your practice method is, do it over and over and over and over, because that is going to help elevate you. Great athletes, what do? They don't just, like basketball players, they don't just do a free throw at a game and then they make it. They do maybe 5 or 6 hours of free throws at practice. They take a break, they do another hour, another couple hours. That's what it is. It's repetition over and over and over. And you have to do that with your thoughts too. You have to think about what you want and think about it in a way that it's repetitive in a positive way. Like you see what's going to happen. And everything you're doing is on the way to making it happen. And if you look at it like that, things will happen along the way that you'll recognize as an opportunity to use that to create what you see in your future as a musician, as a working or a professional musician. So this whole competition thing that they have on television, and they call it television programming for a reason. It's to program people, and the new generation doesn't know. They just think, oh, that's the way music is. Just like we think that whatever's on the radio, that's what's relevant. It isn't. There's so much more music out there than the corporate-run radio stations that play certain things so they can sell product. That's what it's all about. Even Prince said, once you, they're fine with you, like they're with a label, they're making, profit off of you and off record sales and merchandise and concerts and all that. But if they stop making money off of you, you're gone. So that's why being an indie artist is really where the power is these days. Now, during the pandemic was kind of, just as an example, a lot of people lost work as musicians, and that's just the way it is. Now, again, I'll bring up Tony Robbins. He was doing huge shows, crowds, tens of thousands of people in huge auditoriums, traveling the world year round, and he was shut down. And then he was in California, and then he was going to do one in California, and then they shut down California. He was going to go to Vegas, and then they shut down Vegas. He ended up doing the virtual Zoom and all that, which has actually turned out to be better. Because if you think about it, he could do maybe 10 or 15,000 people at an auditorium. And if he did 20 of those, then that would, that would be fine. But if he didn't do that, then if he was doing the virtual, he has people from all over the world, and he's maybe doing 100,000 people watching. So virtual world is really kind of developed in that aspect. For me, for the pandemic kind of shut everything down. So bands couldn't play, and everyone thought, oh, well, I'm just going to stay home and practice. What I did is I haven't had a jazz trio. So when they did kind of open things up where you could play outside, but they couldn't have dance bands, they couldn't have gathering, I was turning down work during the pandemic, but I was getting a lot of work because I could go set up my trio outside in the little corner and play, and I was making money, making bank. And then I was able to record my first Ghost Jazz Trio album during the pandemic. Got good rates. A lot of the musicians were there, but they weren't touring, so I got some good people on there. And also, it was kind of quiet in my genre. There wasn't all these things weren't running. The machine wasn't running. It slowed way down almost to a stop, pretty much. So it allowed me to get my foot in the door and get noticed. So I got my foot in the door, and then I parlayed that for the next album when things started to open up more. But I already got my foot in the door, so people knew who I was, the radio station programmers. And then now the third year, I've had 2 years to establish myself. And then what happens? My song debuts in the top 100. And they have off my last album too. But the point is that I used a time that was a downtime for the world to profit myself and boost myself, my dream, my goals. And that's what life is about. Life is about envisioning what you want and going for it and making it happen, manifesting it. And and that's what I chose to do during the pandemic, rather than, oh, I can't play, I'm just going to sit home and practice, and maybe in a year or two I'll be playing. No, that wasn't going to happen. So you can take, just like the stock market, some of the biggest millionaires, the richest billionaires in the world, made their money when the market went down. So they took it often, there was the negative happening, but they didn't see it that way. You've got to change your belief system in your thinking and being positive. Realize that you can manifest any life you want, whether it's in music or in life itself. And if all it is having a perspective of not having any fear-driven thoughts. And fear is basically what the media and what's out there that is bombarding you constantly, because that's how they want to keep you subdued and keep you conditioned so that I'm not pretty enough, I got to buy this product. I'm not skinny enough, I got to go on this particular diet. If you watch television or any media, you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not this, you're not that, you need that to be better. And then it's all material stuff, but it's really all comes from inside. And as an artist, it's our duty for the people that are trapped in that trap, to give them something to listen to that maybe pulls them out of it for a little while, 5 minutes, an hour, whatever. And like when I do live performances, my whole goal when I do a live performance is not just the excitement of playing with the other musicians and not knowing what's going to happen. We're jamming because it's jazz and we're in the middle of it, but knowing that the audience, the listener, gets to experience those moments with us, and they're letting go of all their other thoughts and all the negativity and all the worries that they have, because right at that moment, it's exciting to be with us in our moment. It's just like when you watch a boxing match and you see the underdog and suddenly he's wailing on the big guy that's the champion. Everyone gets all excited because here's an underdog that came out of nowhere, just like the Rocky movie, and then all of a sudden, boom, he could end up being the champion. That's exciting. But if the guy's dominating the champion, no one's even, they're already thinking what they're going to do after the fight. Oh, I'm going to go have dinner here, I'm going to go dancing, whatever. So when you create excitement, playing, you draw those people into your moment, and that's really important to do that. I mean, that's our mission really, and most people are, again, dwelling on all the stuff that's going on, and they're bombarded, especially during these times with the inflation and the way the world is, and gas and all the wars and everything going on. Now's the best time to get your music out there. And, it really just starts with you wanting to do it. So let go of all your fear, change your belief system if it's not working for you. You know, again, I may make this video, I may get 5 views, but maybe 2 years from now, I get 10,000 views. Who knows? It's really, the sky's the limit. There are no limits, and there is no negative. There isn't, like, oh well, I'm not getting this, so it must not be happening. What are you? What scale are you using to judge what success is and success isn't? What you've been told, what you've been conditioned to think. If you've been conditioned to think that this is what success is and this is what not success is, then you're already done. So you're already succumbed to those belief systems, those concepts. Why? You're just giving up. So a lot of people believe in affirmations, saying positive things. So that's great that people are saying positive things. But I think it's more important than affirmations is the physiology of the human body involved with those thoughts and those affirmations that you may say. And there's even been studies where if you are standing up straight and you're breathing heavy for like 10 minutes, your blood pressure, everything goes down. The negative stuff goes down. You're getting more oxygen in your brain. All of a sudden, you're using 10% more of your brain. You're more alert. So how you carry yourself physically. Now, when I used to work in the business side of things in life, when I was in that business world, before I would go do a meeting in front of 100 or 200 people, a sales meeting, I would go into a room by myself and I would just jump up and down and yell and smash my hands together as loud as I could because I'm getting my body in with what I'm saying. Now, if you're sitting, half your energy is dead. I'm sitting, so half my energy is kind of subdued. That's why it's good to, before you play music or before you decide to think about what you want to do some kind of incantations. I know people think of witches when they think of that, but it's not really what it is. It's, yell really loud in the garage, jump up and down, slap your hands together as loud as you can, get your adrenaline going, then sit down and think about what you want to do. You're in control of your life. Nobody else is. They try to make you think they are. Like, if you do this and this and that, you could win this competition, or you could be successful, do this. No, you figure out your own way. You have a brain that's been developing for 2 billion years or longer. So, start using it, and use it as a tool. Don't let your brain dictate to you what your life is going to be through its fears and conditioning. And that's the key of this video. Change your belief system and approach life free of fear, of the thoughts of fearful thoughts. Just let all that go, and everything will just start happening. And that's pretty much it. Anyway, my single did debut on Monday in the top 100, so I appreciate all the radio programmers for that. And I did some follow-up emails to thank the programmers and also ask the ones that didn't add it to add my song. So we'll see if it moves up the chart next Monday. And next week, I have a few rehearsals and got some private shows coming up. And then the Ghost Jazz Trio is performing August 20th, Saturday, 1 to 4 p.m., outdoor stage at the Mission Bay Beach Club. So if you're local and you want to come by, please do. And if you want to leave any comments on the video, appreciate it. And I just wanted to make this video before I make my usual Saturday video, just to kind of let you know that it's more than just what my other videos talk about, the footprint and all that, but it's also, you got to do some inner work too, and also practicing, of course. Remember, repetition is the key. Just over and over and over with your thoughts and your music, and success will come. Trust me.